Hello, welcome to How to Scrum, especially Scrum Corner, Coach's Corner. Today I'm going to talk about a topic that is always coming up. How can I get into agile project delivery? How can I be a Scrum Master, to be more specific? In Scrum, to be a Scrum Master, first thing first, you need to be qualified as a Certified Scrum Master, CSM, which I did through the Scrum Alliance. You can do that through other organizations, but I did it through Scrum Alliance. So you become a CSM, Certified Scrum Master. That's first thing. By doing that course, you have understood the principles of agile and how Scrum works, specifically the Scrum ceremonies and all the different artifacts that goes with that. Once you mastered the Scrum principle, the basics, then you just need to be a bit more agile, i.e., how do you become more kind of flexible being a Scrum Master? Anybody can follow the textbook format, which is just follow what the textbook said. But to be an effective Scrum Master, you need to be able to see how the team that you're working with or the organization you are in, how have they got themselves into the agile in the first place, and how effective are they in their implementation, and how well are the people in that organization up to date with their principles, with their Scrum. And if they don't understand that, you need to start from that point and not come in and say, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. So to do first thing first is to understand the environment, and then you yourself as a Scrum Master understand what is it that you need to be an effective Scrum Master. That means helping people to understand agile principles, doing some coaching, doing some research, and doing some presentations to help the organizational team members to be able to understand Scrum better. Once you understand that, then it's basically following the rituals of Scrum ceremonies, making sure everything flows through. Now, the element of human interaction is paramount. You have to understand how people work. That means there will be people who will be not willing to work as a Scrum team. There will be pressure from management to make it go faster, make it more effective. I want for the definitive timelines for the project. So to manage all that, you have to keep your calm and give an effective factual feedback. One is that you can only give a timeline which can only happen once you've gone through the Scrum, for example, sprints 2, 3, 4, 5, and you have the velocity, for example. Second of all, you need to educate and tell everybody that you need to have certain people up to level whatever to make them more effective. So that means training, more budget from the training, more kind of lesson learn, kind of lunch and learn sessions. Once you manage the expectation of management and then you understood the team principles and how they work, then you can start working with them, making sure that they follow certain aspects of Scrum, some ceremonies, but then you're going to tighten the screw to make sure they follow exactly. I'll give you some examples. For example, the team might not be able to understand how does the estimates work in story points, because story points are not hours or days or weeks. It's a relative estimate. So you're going to help them to understand, as per my other videos, that is going to be, for example, one story point equals 1 day. If you apply that principle, what do you think this is? So don't be hard in the beginning on making sure they follow the Fibonacci 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, etc. story point kind of method, but you're going to help them to understand that. Second of all, they might not understand that I have to attend all the meetings. So you have to say it is important that the meeting that, for example, daily stand-up, the planning, they attend that. Second of all, they might say, they might talk, they have to do that, I'm waiting for them. And you have to stop this us and them situation and make them realize that the whole Scrum team, developers, testers, BA, are all part of the same team. Therefore, you use the term us. We will work together. I will work with my team. So these are some of the things that you would be faced when you are working as a Scrum Master, and some of the challenges you might have from the team, from the environment, from the management. And all this time, you as a Scrum Master need to make sure that you understand the Scrum itself to the nth degree, i.e. KYC. Now, KYC is used as know your customer terminology in financial institutes, but I use it for myself as know your crap. Sorry for the language. You need to know everything to do with Scrum and Agile project delivery. So once you understand that, then anybody who poses a question says, well, how come you don't know when the project is going to end? You'll be able to answer that question. And if you don't know your crap, you will not be able to answer that. You'll melt under pressure. You have to understand how it works and how you're going to educate other people. Stand your ground. You have to make sure. So this is some of the insights into kickstarting your career as a Scrum Master. And maybe the hardest part would be to not to get a certification, not to run the ceremonies or educating. The hardest part, you will say, is that I don't know how to get into my first job as a Scrum Master. So how do I get into my first job? Well, to get into first job is maybe you start off as a junior Scrum Master. If you're in a full-time environment, you might be able to say kind of shadow an existing Scrum Master. And either way, you will have to get into a role that allows you to run as a Scrum Master. Now, there might be situations where you might be able to go as a BA or a different role and slowly adapt as a junior project manager or project manager into Scrum role. I apply some agile project delivery within the project. So for example, when they're doing development, you can say, let's move this development piece of work into agile sprints, and we'll work as a sprint, and every week or 2 weeks we're going to do a demo on that. So you'll be able to make your way through into the final Scrum role by going through a junior role, or shadowing somebody, or somebody just giving you an opportunity to be a Scrum Master. The other thing you have to remember is some of the interview questions when you are doing a Scrum Master role. They might ask you, so tell me, why do you think you are a better Scrum Master than anyone else? Some of the answers you can give is that I work with the environment, with the people, and understand how far they are in the agile maturity scale. Accordingly, I will adapt to that level and then try to do some lunch and learn presentations or some kind of group sessions to bring them up to a level, and then once they are at that particular level, I'll be able to move them to the next. So that makes me more kind of accepted, respected as Scrum Master, as opposed to coming in and saying, okay, I'm the Scrum Master, you all gonna follow this and that. So that's that. Second of all, you can say that some of the questions you might get is that, so what do you do if somebody's not interested in attending your Scrum or are not happy with the agile period? You're gonna say, well, most likely is that person is not aware of agile, don't know the benefits of agile. So my job is to make sure they understand the benefits of agile and how effective it is compared to, say, a waterfall traditional approach. So the aim isn't to sideline these people, the aim is to work with them and help them to understand what is the benefit and why we're doing this. The other questions you might get is, so why do you think that the management is expected to deliver certain things in certain timeline, and how would you manage that? Well, my answer to that is management are right to ask for timelines, for budgets. As a Scrum team, you are able to do that, but the only difference is you are doing it in a 2-week period where you are dicing the work, working with this team, demoing and making sure that the product owner is giving you effective feedback. And if the feedback is positive, you're going to continue. If it's negative, you're going to adapt and pivot to make sure the next 2 weeks work is different. So you're going to tell the management that give me 3 sprints, which is 6 weeks to 8 weeks. I will give you how effective the Scrum team is, how fast they're going, i.e. the velocity. Once I know that, then I know how big the slice of a cake should be, and I'll be able to give you some very high level timelines. In terms of budget, my team is fixed. I know how many hours they put in. So I can give them what they're used to, the budgets, the timelines, but I have to keep emphasizing that the agile is all about flexibility, agility, so that they understand that it is not, when I say it'll be done by end of next month, it is as the forecast, and I will tell them every 2 weeks how well we are doing getting to that point. So hopefully this is a video that helps you to understand how to get into a Scrum Master role, and how to launch your career, and then finally how to be an effective Scrum Master. So I hope this has been useful. So do subscribe to my How to Scrum YouTube channel. You'll find some really good videos, and go and visit the howtoscrum.com website. There you'll find some really excellent videos, free blogs, and template that you can use straight away. And also there are some very useful courses that you can attend, paid courses, and there's also a free basic Scrum course there as well. So check out howtoscrum.com, and keep liking and subscribing to my channel. Until next time, take care. Bye.